Tennessee treasure hound here. This will be my first YouTube video. Friend of mine, Dale with Whistle Pig Digging, he started doing some YouTube videos, so I thought I would try that as well. I already had a channel set up, just had to rename it, so we'll see how this goes. I don't really have a GoPro or anything like that I can shoot a good video with, so I'm just going to be using my cell phone. I'm here at a local park in Hawkins County called Laurel Run. It's a beautiful, beautiful park. It was used, I think it was in 1986, they shot the movie The River here with Mel Gibson and Sissy Spacek. So once that movie filming concluded, they ceded this whole park to the county, I believe. And so I've been out here maybe once or twice before. The first time I was here, I pulled a Walking Liberty silver half out of the ground here. So I'm not sure if that was, a film prop or somebody dropped it, because I don't believe this area is, really been inhabited that long before they actually built this park. I don't believe there was anything else here. So it's right along the Holston River here in Tennessee. But there's a couple of picnic areas out here I'm gonna try and hit, and we'll see what we can find. My weapon of choice is the White's V3i. So I've been running that and trying to get used to that for a little over a year now. Starting to kind of get the hang of it. It's a pretty complex machine. It has a lot of settings, a lot of things you can set up to work, specific areas. It's very customizable. I really like it. So one of the reasons, when I was looking at, I started out with the Fisher F5, and when I went to upgrade, I done a lot of research, and one of the reasons that I went with White's was because they had such good customer service, and I thought, well, they're going to be around if I have any trouble. It wasn't unheard of for, somebody had bought a detector like 10 years ago and something happened. They send it in the White's, and White's fixes it free of charge and sends it back to them, 10-year-old detector. So their customer service was always top notch. So I bought the detector. It was around, I guess, March of last year. And then lo and behold, 3 months later, they up and go out of business. Who would have thought, right? The company's been around for a long time, over 50 years, I think. I remember my dad had I think it was called the Alaskan. It was a big blue box, White's detector with this giant red meter. That's been many, many years ago. White's was always kind of one of the benchmark standards for great metal detectors. So it was kind of a shame to see them go out of business. But yeah, I guess that's the luck of the draw. I know Centerville Electronics in Virginia is handling warranty work for White's, so at least I've got the warranty. It's 2 years left on that detector. I guess 1 year now, since I've had it for a year. So if I have any trouble, I can always go back to Centerville Electronics, and they should be able to handle the warranty work. But I'm maybe gonna try and do some videos on some of the settings on the V3i and some of the things that I figured out over time, and maybe compare some signals and see what we can figure out on it. So if you guys have any hints or suggestions or tips or tricks for the V3i, feel free to share those down in the comments. Currently that's the only detector I own, so that's what I'll be running all the time right now while I'm hunting. But we'll get out here, and I'll try and get some pictures of the park and let you see what it's like. It's a beautiful place, beautiful area out here in East Tennessee. And we'll get out here and do some hunting, and we'll see what we can find. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a little shot of the park here where I'm hunting at. Like I said, this is just a beautiful area. It's a beautiful sunny day. Take a shot around here. Over here, this is the Holston River. And the area that I'm looking at hunting is right over here. There's a picnic table, some trees, kind of shady. So we'll get over there and see what we can pull out of the ground. Okay, so we're set up to hunt with the V3i. I'm running my RX gain at 13. All metal is at 70 and discrimination is at 88. It's pretty quiet out here. There's hardly, virtually no EMI. So, there's virtually no EMI at all. So we can run some higher settings and see what we get. So let's get at it. So here's our first target. 18, 19, 21. About 2 inches down. It's questionable. Probably a pull tab, but we'll dig it and find out. All right, first target of the day. Turned out to be a little bit of can slaw, coming in at 19, 20, 21. So on to the next one. All right, next signal. Another 19. This one seems to be a bit more. This one seems to be a bit more stable. It's ringing in at 19. Looks good on the polar plot. Looks to be about an inch and a half in the ground. Let's dig it out and see what we got. All right, it sounded good, but as you can see, just one of the what we call simulated nickels. Sounds just like a nickel until you dig it out of the ground. Square tab. On to the next one. All right, our next target. That's out of the way. It's a good solid 75. Looks like the 12.5 is dominant. Probably a zinc penny. Says it's about 4 inches down. Could be some trash mixed in with it. We'll dig it out of here and see. All right, so it looks like what we came up with is a small grommet or washer of some kind. So yeah, bringing up like a penny. All right, on to the next one. So here's our next target. Solid 54. It's right on top of the ground. Plot looks good. Let's see what it is. So it looks like we have found our first good target. It's just laying right here on top of the ground. I don't know if you can see that. Looks like a penny. Camera don't want to focus on it. It's a penny. Oop, dropped it. Just an old zinc penny. All right, on to the next one. Okay, so I got kind of an iffy signal here. It's ringing up in the 60s, high 60s. Occasional high tone peeking through, 70s. The interesting thing is when I pinpoint though, I get a lot of green. Which is that low 2.5 frequency coming through, which usually indicates a coin. Looks like it's about 4 inches deep. Plot looks pretty good. A little squirrely. Let's dig it and see what it is. All right, so we just turned it over. Just flipped it out there. Looks like it is a dime. Clad dime. Alrighty, on to the next one. So I'm gonna give you guys a shot of the ground probe here, where we can check the ground to see basically how mineralized it is. So I'm gonna zero this out. Then we're gonna bring the coil down in that place where I just dug, where I know is clean. And we can see the ground here is very clean. It's very mild. Not strong at all. There's only 1% on all 3 frequencies of mineralization, so that's pretty mild ground. So that's one of the reasons we can run our sensitivity so high out here, and the settings so high, is because the ground is so clean. So now we can take a look at the signal. So we can come back out of this, and we can go to our sensitivity and zoom, and then we can bring the coil back down. And we can see that 98% of the signal is staying, it's coming back to the coil. There's only 2% loss, which is really good. So we're not going to overload at all. We can run these high settings and not overload the discriminator circuit. So, just interesting stuff. So let's keep hunting and see what else we can find. All right, so we got our next target here. Looks like a zinc penny. High 50s, dipping into the 60s. 57, 58. Looks like it's right on the surface. About 1/2 inch. Plot looks good. I don't think we're going to have to dig very far for this one. See what we got. Well, I don't think I'm going to dig this one. I can't get a reading on it. Usually that indicates deep trash. When you get a good signal like that, it says it's right on the surface, and then you can't even get a signal with your probe. It usually ends up being a can or some kind of trash like that. So we're gonna leave that one in the ground and go on to the next one. All right, so here's our next target. Looks like a penny. About 1 inch deep. Looks good on the vector plot. Let's see what it is. All right, so I just dug a little plug here, and as you can see, I don't know if you can see that right there, is a coin right on the edge, right in that plug, right there. So, let's see what we got here. Looks like a clad dime, another clad dime. So, another little find. All right, on to the next. Okay, so here's our next target. Pretty solid 54. Probably a zinc penny. Looks like it's right on top of the ground. Polar plot looks good. Let's drop down here and see if we can just find it. I think it's right here on top of the ground, whatever it is. Hang on a second. Well, no signal on that one. Or I'm just missing it. Oh, it's a little off. Right there. I'm gonna dig a little plug and then we'll come back to it. All right, so that turned out to be a little deeper because it was a rather large, looks like the top off of a can. So just some junk metal. All right, on to the next one. Okay guys, I think that last hit was gonna be my final find there. I just want to give you another shot of how beautiful this park is. Again, we're on the Holston River here in East Tennessee. And it is just absolutely gorgeous day out here on the river, doing some detecting. And maybe we'll get back around here. Back in this wooded area, right straight back through there, is where I found that walking silver $50. So at some point, probably want to go back and hunt that area again. But yeah, it's just a beautiful day. Beautiful day to be out detecting. First video, hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll do a little quick snippet of my finds here in a moment, and then we'll head on out. All right, so here's a shot of the finds for today's short hunt. Yeah, a little bit of trash, square tabs, can lid, and some other bits of junk metal. We found that grommet or whatever it is. Then a couple pennies, a couple of dimes, all clad, nothing silver. I did find a quarter and a nickel. I didn't get those captured on camera, those digs, but you know, not too bad. But hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll try and work on getting a GoPro or something like that where I can record in HD wide format. I know this vertical format, going back between vertical and horizontal with the cell phone, is not ideal. Can be kind of annoying, but we're doing the best we can here to start out with. And more videos to follow. Eventually I'll get like I said, I'll get a better camera, and you know, maybe me and Whistle Pig digging can go on a hunt there, and he always does some good filming. If you haven't checked out his channel, do that, Whistle Pig Digging. I'll put a link in the description on this video, and you can go check him out. He's got some pretty cool videos, some pretty good finds and stuff out there that he's found. But until next time, stay safe and happy hunting.